Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Avatar The Last Airbender Season 2 Episode 9. Last time we got an interesting episode. Obviously now we got Azula chasing the Avatar, chasing Aang. Again, I was kind of confused with the presentation of Azula. I didn't know if she was going to concentrate on just capturing Zuko and Iroh, or she is just going to try to capture, obviously, the Avatar too. So yeah, now my question has been answered. So yes, I have no longer that doubt, and we got a clear difference in skill between Zuko and between Azula. Azula is a perfectionist. She has been training, my guess is, all her life so she can reach the level in which she is. So, yeah, she is amazing. But obviously, thanks to Zuko showing off in this deserted town, that was kind of enough for our heroes to catch up and for Aang to be free. The problem is that now Iroh was injured, and I said injured because I'm still hoping that he is fine. That cliffhanger really left me kind of shocked of what I saw back then. So hopefully, Uncle Iroh is going to be fine. Hopefully, yes, I'm still hoping for that. And we're going to see how he's going to recover from that wound that was inflicted by a member of his own family. Yes, as I said before, the dynamic of the royal family in the Fire Nation is very weird. But anyway, yes, I don't think you're here for hear me rambling about what I saw in the last episode. Let me just remind you that please consider a subscription, give me a like if you enjoyed the video, and obviously leave a comment about whatever you saw in the next few minutes that you're going to see. Anyway, that out of the way, let's just cut all of these and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the ninth episode of the second season. I love the philosophy behind this episode. I learn a lot about the world that these characters are living, and I guess it connects very strongly with our current world. Let's divide this commentary into. First, obviously, I'm going to concentrate on speaking only about the Aang side, because once again, he is the protagonist of the series. Yes, I know it sounds weird for me to say that, but let's take into account that there are several episodes in which Avatar just took a second place, just took a background character place. Which is obviously nothing bad about that, but now he is back at the center point of his side of the episode. And then obviously I'm going to speak about the Zuko side. This is the first time that Toph is teaching him to earthbend. This is how we start. And before starting slow, as we saw in the previous two masters, the fire master, which obviously was kind of a failure for what we discussed before and from what you said in your commentaries. And obviously we have our water master, which again it's kind of starting slow. We saw progress later on, but they started slow. This one I think started a lot with more complex stuff, and this gives you kind of a certain information about earthbenders. You have to stand strong just as a rock, well, even we learn something else later on, kind of a stubborn, kind of immovable object, that so you can move the rocks around you, the minerals around you, the earth around you. So that's why you have to be strong, standing firm on the ground, so you can move the earth, not the earth moves you. So that's what Toph is teaching Aang. She is very strong-willed too, so you can see that she is kind of a perfect airbender, let's say. This is again, we got several information in the background with the subtle information that we got here, and I mean information about the characters, about Toph and about Aang. And we saw the teaching. At first, it was kind of a slow progress, but obviously we start to progress quite quickly in the end. We start to see that Aang is making progress. He is not moving just as much like he was moving at the beginning. He's standing his ground. He's starting to even push back Toph to a certain point when she was just surrounding herself with stones. So yes, we start to see the progress. The problem comes when the last part of the training, or at least I guess kind of the initiation point for him to become an earthbender, that's when the problem arrives, that you need to push away a rock that is moving against you. This is not something immobile and you need to make it mobile. No, you need to push something away that could literally crush you. So yeah, that is frightening when you think about it. Even if you have the knowledge to bend earth or to bend whatever, just all the elements as Aang, that is still a frightening scene, because come on, a giant rock, I don't know, 2 tons, 3 tons rock is moving at a very high speed towards you. I need to say, oh yes, I'm gonna push it away with my earthbending powers. Yeah, that is a tough one. That is a tall order. And obviously, from the first time, for the first time, Aang could not make it. And everything that happens on that side is kind of a way for him to learn that. Obviously, the positive encouragement from Katara that is trying to tell him, oh, but you already mastered another element other than yours, that your original one. So yes, you can learn something else, and especially this is going to be hard for you because this is your opposite. Just as fire and water are opposites, air and earth are opposites in this kind of weird scale, let's say. So that's why it's costing you a lot more effort. But it took Sokka being in danger for him to be able to stand his ground, not against a rock, but against a giant creature that is a combination of a moose and a saber-toothed tiger. So yeah, that is really standing your ground. And this is something perhaps that was intentionally, well, perhaps not intentionally prepared for Toph, but she didn't intervene, so Aang could recover his nuts, let's say. Yeah, I think that is a euphemism for, yeah, I just took your balls, man. And for a moment there, yeah, something completely irrelevant for this philosophy. I really thought in that moment when she took the nuts and was showing off the ball sack, let's say, when she was showing off that, I really thought that she was going to say, you're too much of a pussy to take it back. Yeah, she said something else because, again, some of the audience is kids, so yes, yeah, she was obviously not going to say that, but I would love to see the outtakes for that, and I want to see how many times that woman said pussy in that moment, because yeah, that sounds like the perfect setup for that word. But again, yes, Aang took a stand, not just against a giant monster, but as Toph said, more impressively against her. So yes, she managed to perhaps not master earthbending, but at least start to achieve a new bending, that now he can practice more with this type of bending. Not just air, not just water, but now earth. And we're still missing obviously fire, but that is going to take us, I guess, until the book 3. I don't know what's going to happen in these few episodes that are still missing, but obviously I'm eager to know. Now that we took that, we're going to move on to the next one. We got Prince Zuko, well, Zuko and Uncle Iroh. Thankfully, he's fine. Perhaps, yeah, he's wounded, but he's alive, which is something I was grateful for. And this is another training. I was so tempted to say training montage, but I don't think it's the same. But yeah, both sides of this story are training or retraining students, master and student. This is a different approach. Aang is a free spirit. Yes, he can be stubborn. Yes, he can be something too playful, perhaps. But he has, let's say, less problems, kinda, than Zuko. And I mean psychological problems. Zuko has a lot more in his mind. Aang has his friends. Aang has somebody that is with him all the time. Even in the past, 100 years ago, he still has somebody that was backing him up. Zuko, the people who should be backing him up, just abandoned him. He's just one person with him. Yes, the mother went away for another different reason that is not explained in the animation. You told me that is obviously on the comics, which obviously I have to check it out after I finish the series. But Zuko in the series only has Uncle Iroh. Only him. So the psychological weight is a lot more, I think, for Zuko. And this is a problem, because he wants to learn how to produce lightning, which is an impressive technique. And I don't know how Azula is able, because perhaps she's cold-blooded and she doesn't care about the rest of the world. That's why she's able to do all those lightnings. That's what I guess it's going on. Because yeah, it's the balance. It's a weird technique. It's a balance, or you have to unbalance the yin and yang, and that is when they try to collide with each other. That's when you produce lightning. That's, I guess, how it works. Well, yeah, that's plain explained, man. Come on. But again, Zuko is not able because there is too much in his mind. Too much in his mind. And there is a technique that really needs... They call it a peace in the mind. Again, it's kind of hard to see that with Azula because she's not exactly the book cover of freaking peace. But perhaps it's something else, perhaps. Again, because she's cold-blooded, because she's so frigid, so calculated, perhaps that's why. But obviously, Zuko is not able to achieve that. He has too much in his mind, and this is something that Uncle Iroh figured out. So he's now trying to do something, an alternative technique. That you can redirect lightning to avoid said technique. And this is something that we saw before when he saved the boat or the damage for the boat. This is something that we saw before. And this is a technique that only him knows, and only he hasn't taught this to anybody. Not Azula, not everybody, not anybody else. Zuko is the only other person who knows how it works. Perhaps. And this brings us to something else. This is an explanation of how the rest of the elements kind of work and how the people that bend said elements are. First we have obviously the one they know the most is the fire, which obviously represents power. And this is something obviously I wrote in my notes, that this is the siren wheel. The drive and energy to achieve any goal that the Fire Nation benders, well, the people in this nation could achieve or want to achieve. That is how they move. Then we have earthbending, which is the element of substance, and that's why the people in this kingdom is diverse and is strong, and they are persistent and they endure all the damage you can throw at them. And that is something that we saw in the previous episode, how they are. Then of course we have the air, the element of freedom. They detach themselves from the worldly concerns, and yes, I'm reading my notes here, so they can achieve peace and freedom. This is what they want. This is what the air nomads want. That's why they don't have a nation. They just want to be completely free. And obviously we have the water element, the element of change. And they are adaptable and they have a strong sense of community and love for each other. And that's how they achieve their goals. And we have seen this representation of the elements in the different people that we have seen, the true representatives of these people. We have seen the Fire Nation. We have seen this wheel in take it into a good term, into a bad term. Into a good term, we have Uncle Iroh, the desire to achieve his goals. Perhaps his goals are not so high and mighty, but he has goals. And we have obviously seen this in Zuko. He wants he wanted or still wants to capture the Avatar, and that is his will and his goal. And then of course we have the Earth. We have seen that in several people, even with the humor in the end for Uncle Iroh. We have seen that in Boomy, but we have seen it in several other people. When they invaded, they want to endure, they want to persist, and we saw that in the Resistance when they take Omashu, I think it was the name of the city. And then we have the Air Nomads, and this is obviously the only representative of these nomads is Aang. And yes, we have seen that desire of freedom, the desire of not going or not worrying about what is going on with the world in Aang. And obviously it has positive and negative connotations. And of course we have the Water Tribe, and we saw that from the original tribe, not so much, because yes, they are together to defend themselves, even just sending away Aang in that case. And we saw that in the North Pole, that obviously they received their brother and sister from another tribe, and they try to protect them, let's say. Yes, we have seen all of those characteristics of these elements, and the characteristics that Uncle Iroh told us in other nations. And yes, just as Zuko said, this sound like Avatar talk. But this makes more sense. Yes, the Avatar perhaps is the only person in this universe that could control all the elements, all the 4 elements. He's able to do that. But any other bender that really wants to master his elements, he needs to learn from the rest, because this will help him with his own element. It will help him not to be as rigid as Uncle Iroh said, and just trying to move or think outside the box to improve their own bending and make it better. Because now you start to understand the other side of the coin, let's say, of this 4-sided coin. I don't know. So this is an incredible, amazing philosophy that we have here. But obviously, even if you understand said philosophy, it's hard to put it on practice. I don't know, because yeah, this technique that Uncle Iroh is trying to teach Zuko is very dangerous, because you need to redirect it to a specific point of your body. In this case, the stomach. But if you made a mistake and redirect it through your heart, that is going to be dangerous for you, because yes, you're going to attack your heart directly with the amount of balls that a freaking thunder has or a lightning has. Yeah, that is extremely dangerous. So yeah, you need to be cautious with that. And I don't know if Zuko really understands this. But we saw in the last image, and I love this last portion for Zuko, because it's kind of cathartic for him. Because he's screaming at the world. And yes, you can see that. You can feel how Zuko feels in that moment. That the world is against him. That is, the world is throwing everything against him. And yes, he is resisting everything. And now he believes that he can throw it back. And this is progress for Zuko. I'm sorry, yes, but I'm so passionate in this moment. This is progress for Zuko. This is a very cathartic moment for him. Screaming at the top of his lungs in the top of a mountain against nature, because he feels like the entire world is against him, because nothing goes well for him. From his youth, nothing has been going on well for him, or at least that's what he feels like. Everything is taken away from him. So yes, this is a very cathartic moment, and I think this is something that Zuko needs. Yes, the world is throwing everything against him. And this is obviously, as I said before, a way to redeem himself, to redeem this character. But yes, poor Zuko. This is still shocking to see just how much this kid has been suffering. Because yes, he's still like, what, 17? He's not a full-grown adult. And yeah, all the things he has been suffering from. Well, from everything. Especially from his family. So yeah, this was a great episode. A fascinating one. I don't know what the hell is that. But anyway, this is a great episode, a fascinating one, and I hope you enjoy. This video. Please, please, please. Once again, I know this is annoying, but if you enjoy the content of the channel, consider a subscription. And obviously turn on notifications so you can get up to date with whatever we're doing with the channel. If you enjoy the episode, please give me a thumbs up. And obviously leave a comment so I know what you think about my reaction, the episode, and my commentary. If you want to follow me on B2, the link is in the description. Obviously the reaction is still there. And I'm encouraging you to subscribe to my B2 channel in any case whatever happens to this one. And follow me on Twitter so you can get up to date with quick news about what is going on with the channel, and obviously some random stuff I tend to post there. Anyway, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you enjoyed my reaction and my commentary. But the only thing I have to say is thank you for your attention, and see you on the next one. Bye!
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks and see you on the next one.